some unfamiliar faces. So in the back is Maddie, Charlotte, Ellie, Josh. Josh, I know like through mutual friends, but we're friends. And then Maddie, Charlotte, and Ellie all work with me at Chick-fil-A, so I'm happy they can come out. And then Carly and Leah are my two cousins. And then Monica is my youth group leader. Cynthia is my mentor at church. And then my aunt here in the front, Wendy, used to be my youth group advisor. And then, hi Dad. Dad and Mom, Chris and Dawn. And yeah, I think I caught everyone.
Brother and sister.
Okay, so my presentation is Highs and Lows. I named it this because there's a song called Highs and Lows by Hillsong, and I really appreciate the words because the words just say like through every single moment in your life, God is with you no matter what. And I really like that because I feel like that really applies to my own life. Okay, so, hi guys. Alright, so I'm adopted from Cambodia. I was adopted when I was 2. Yeah, I was 2. So these are just pictures of Nathan and I when we were in Cambodia. This is like pictures of when we like first came home. And yeah, and then these people we are really good friends with right here. We actually visited them in California this past summer, which was super cool visiting them because something I really appreciated was we had this authentic Cambodian like meal with them, and it was really nice because I didn't realize how much I missed Cambodia. Okay, so family. My parents, so my dad and my mom, Chris and Dawn. I like respect them so much. I was not the easiest child to raise, for sure. It's kind of rebellious, but I hold a lot of respect for them, and I know sometimes it may not seem like that, but they're literally like, I think I wrote in Mr. Drexler's like essay one time, they're my superheroes, and they really are my superheroes because I just admire them so much. Like my mom with her work ethic, and the way she works really hard with her job, commits like her whole entire being to it, and really, I just really respect them because I feel like they follow exactly what, where God is leading them and what God wants them to do. And so then my dad is like my best friend. He's super cool. That's a text from him because I thought it was really cute. But I feel like I can tell him anything and everything, and he's just super goofy. And my mom is really super helpful in keeping me grounded in just life because I can really get carried away sometimes. But they definitely really are strong Christians, and I really appreciate that because that has helped me in my own personal faith. So family, okay, the rest of my family. This beautiful young man is Nathan, my brother. He's so cute, he really is. He's awesome. I'm 6 months older than him, but definitely a lot of people think we're either twins or dating. So Nathan wants to get a shirt that says she's my sister whenever we're together. So like, because a lot of people think, yeah, we're together. But he's seriously a really cool brother. It's really fun. He really helps me out, especially with guys. Really helps me, prevents me from making stupid decisions around them. And then my younger sister, even though we're 6 years apart, she still is like, she's really mature for her age. So like, we can just have like really deep talks about like, one time we had like this really good conversation about like divorce, and then we just like went straight to Harry Potter. So like, I really enjoy that fact about her is like, we can like just go from one end to the other, and I really enjoy being sisters with her. Okay, so extended family. So this is my mom's side, so my aunt and my cousins are here, some of them. They adopted 3 younger kids, which is super cool because like, it was like I can relate to them being adopted. They're super fun. One of them is my age, and then the rest are a little bit older, but it's still a good time with them. And then that picture right here is my extended family on my dad's side. They're fun. I love my younger cousin Kate a lot. She was born on my birthday, so it's like that special cool thing we share. And then I guess here's more pictures of us. But then in the left and right corners is my grandmother. She actually used to live with us until recently. She's super like amazing. Like since she used to live with us, I would always go downstairs whenever I was upset or like, yeah, when I was in my feelings or anything, I'd just be able to talk to her. And she is like my second mom, like an amazing role model. And the stories she shares, like she's so wild. Like this one time she didn't want to go on this, like trying to tell this guy she didn't want to date him, so she like ran over his foot with her car. Which I thought was I was like, I'm gonna do that someday. Just kidding. But yeah, that's what I really appreciate her. Is like I feel like I can relate to her on so many levels. So yeah. Okay, so friends. This slide. So Chris and Av are over there. They're amazing. They're like, I don't know, we're second family. I love us so much. Call each other like three musketeers. Chris has helped, both of them have helped me grow so much in my faith. Just having those important conversations. Like I really value friends where I can share my faith with them and just grow with them. And that's something I've learned with these two, is like I can really do that with them. And then Heather is 3 years older than me or something like that. She is in Pittsburgh right now, so she couldn't be here. But I really appreciate her because she's like an older sister to me, and we grew up actually with each other in church. So I'll share more a little bit about her in the end when it comes to my future. And there's a very attractive picture of Av. I just needed to share that with everyone. Okay, and then the rest of my friends, I have Nathan Longnecker over there, Carpool Buds. I'm really surprised how we're not late to school, because literally whenever we text him we're here, like at his house, he gets out of bed at that time. So, and like he'll bring his cereal bowl into the car and finish his breakfast there. So he'll provide breakfast for us sometimes. Wow, Nathan. Okay. And then these are just like the rest of my friends that really mean a lot. Obviously, I can't go into depth about each one, but they have been really significant in my life, just in helping me grow in who I am and my faith. Okay, so for school, I went to a public school for elementary school, James Buchanan, and then I went to Hinkletown Mennonite, where my mom's an administrator right now, and then here at LMH. I would definitely say my elementary and middle school years were I don't know how to say it, toughest years. I was very rebellious, I think. It was really hard for like me just to be aware, because it was a very big culture shock for me coming from Cambodia to the United States, because it was a whole new language, it was whole new customs, and I remember just being very aware as a child of like just how like different I was in a sense, because like obviously I didn't speak English as well, and I had some like speech issues and everything, and so like just being aware of that. So like my middle school and elementary years were not like, I don't know, I don't really like them. My high school years are much more better, because like I think I've definitely discovered myself as a person. And then what I really liked about Lancaster Mennonite and like Hinkletown, like different like private school aspect to a public school, is you get really that like one-on-one aspect with your teachers, and they really care about you, and it's also a lot easier to talk about your faith in a private Christian school than in a public school. So one thing that's really important to me, and what has really shaped me, is traveling. That picture is in Mexico, and then I think the rest are in Cambodia. Traveling, I think, really is really significant in my life, because it really has helped me open my eyes to the levels of poverty in the world compared to how we live here in the United States, and has helped me become more open to like cultures and differences, which I personally think is very important for someone to be, is just like open to different things, because sometimes I think people are so just like tight on like certain things, and like be accepting and open. And I really learned that in traveling, because yeah, just like I'm experiencing a different culture, and it's just much more open in that, and so I feel like traveling has really helped shape me in that, and I really enjoy it too. And another thing that has really that I really enjoy is art. Recently this year I decided to go for it and take numerous art classes that I normally wouldn't take. And I've realized that at the end of these art classes, I have noticed so much more detail, and have become so much more aware of like just God's creation, and like the beauty in people and the beauty in differences in people, just like facial appearance, but not just that, but like also their attitudes, their personalities, and so art has really helped me become aware and just become aware of God's creation and what He has created. All right, so this has a lot of negatives, but also has tons of positives. Like, I know recently I've been like, I hate work, but like, I really love it at the same time. It's like a love and hate relationship. One thing I really, really love is the relationships that I have grown, like, gained so much with like Maddie, Charlotte, and Ellie, and then some of them aren't here because they had to work tonight. But just like in every single relationship that I have grown with these people here, it has helped me grow as a person, and I really value each and every single team member there. And then Chick-fil-A has also like really helped deepen my faith. So when I first started, my drawer was short like $20, like 3 nights in a row, and that's like significant amount of money and everything. And I remember like after my director wrote like a written warning about it, and I was like, they're gonna fire me, but he didn't. And he like, but the thing was like, if my like drawer was gonna be short like the next time, then like obviously. But so I remember the next time I was on my drawer, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be short, I can't do this. And I just remember God being just like, calm down, like trust me, like my desires are like your desires. So whatever you want and what I know is best for you, I will make it possible. And He knew the desires of my heart, that I really loved this job and wanted this job. So I literally prayed every time I counted my drawer down, because like I was so nervous it was going to be short. But God stayed faithful, and my like drawer's been fine until recently. But it was only $1. And then so it's also helped me grow in my leadership abilities. But recently I've decided I need to take like a sabbatical from work, if that makes sense. It's just something that is not really needed right now, as I'm still in high school and I need to like, it's my senior year and I want to experience it to the fullest. And I know my friends are getting really tired of this, but I'm getting really tired of like a really tired and sleep deprived Malise at school, because I get just really like grumpy and very quiet, and I really enjoy my relationships, and I feel like I can't put as much into them when I'm always tired. So I'm going to take a break from that. We'll see about keeping it, I'm not sure, but right now it's just something that needs to like stay away. But it's also a really great job, and it has great food, so everyone should go there. Okay, so music is another important part of my life. I'll see if I can get through this without crying, because like I've like cried talking about Marcy in my practice one. So Marcy has been a super big influence. I'm starting. Okay. A big like mentor in my life as. Okay, I can't look at you. She's definitely a role model. We've recently had our ups and downs. I think this year I changed as a person, and I don't think we really knew how to like deal with that in our relationship at first, but it's definitely helped us grow. I really appreciate her though, because she has helped my musical abilities and my alright, I can't stop. I can't look at you. Musical abilities as myself, and just as a person in a whole, supporting my beliefs, I think my political beliefs the most. She's always telling me to stay strong in what I believe and who I am. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. So leading into that, with Campus Chorale, I started when I was a sophomore. That was definitely hard because I was super young. Well, 16, but still, I was like super young to start out with that, and it was just a lot of responsibility doing Campus Chorale, and then it was also my first year doing the drama with like PIT. And one of the biggest things I've learned through music is recognizing your limitations and how to accept your limitations and how to humbly overcome those, and not just get a full head of yourself in music. So one of my favorite quotes is, "To play a wrong note is insignificant, and to play without passion is inexcusable." I feel like that's very important in my music because I'm a very big perfectionist, so if I don't get something right, I will take that very hard on myself, but something that I have learned is put your whole heart into it because this is a gift that God has given me, so the glory should be given back to Him because this is the gift that He's granted for me. And there's this one quote I really like is, if you were only playing for God, would you play for Him? And that was something that really impacted me because I thought about it and I was like, if I only could play for God, would I still play the piano and do music? And that took a lot of soul searching, but it was definitely true. So that's something I've learned through that quote is like, it's all for Him and it all goes back to Him. And that also picture was when we peer tutored, so Jackson, Javon, pretty good friends, and Mr. Sheffer is like a cool music department, which is something I really appreciate here. Alright, so for my faith, I attended Sunnyside Mennonite Church ever since we came back to the States. The quote, without Christ I have nothing, and with Christ I have everything. I really like that because it's so true in my life. If I didn't have my faith and if I didn't have my belief and who He was to me, I would definitely be nowhere without Him because He has given me so many opportunities and has brought me so far in life. So I decided to get baptized the end of my freshman year, I think. That was a really significant turning point as I got baptized with my brother and then another guy who I grew up with in the church and everything. And that was for me, it was when it was like, this is who I want to be and this is like who I want to be recognized as, and I really want to follow Jesus for a final decision. And then, so my youth group is a really big, important part also of my life because they're just like family and they're always there for me and I really appreciate them. And then we have a mentor and mentee program out of church. So Cynthia is my mentor and I also like her because she's also really, she's full of life and she's so spunky and I appreciate that because I feel like we can relate to each other on so many levels and she has helped my faith grow so far, and just she's always there for me, like texting, even though we're really bad at texting each other, she's still there for me, so I really appreciate that. So for the future, I'm going to be taking a gap year, so I'll be going to Wales for 9 months and teaching music, hopefully, I think, not sure, we haven't heard back from them yet, but that is what I'm planning to do because I feel like a gap year, I just need a break in life. After that, so this quote, do not make any assumptions until I explain myself. But feminism is the radical belief that women are humans. In my AP Gov class, we watched a video about sex trafficking in other countries, and that just like, I think something after that video, I was like, I want to do something to help those women and help those children who have really no opportunities for education and who are honestly treated as objects instead of like the human beings, intelligent people they are. So I would like to maybe work for the government or some NGO or UNICEF even, just advocating for women's rights and for children's rights too. And I really like public speaking. That's something I learned at Chick-fil-A. I like people. And I don't know, I like talking to like people, and I like learning people's like backgrounds and everything. And then the camera, I've like always thought about like photojournalism too. If you can't tell, I have like a lot of things that I want to do, but I'm not sure yet. So we're gonna see where God leads me, obviously after my gap year, but that is just a mixture of what I would like to do or have a sense of what I would like to do after my gap year. And yeah, so that's my presentation. Sorry for crying, but you know.